What is something about your country you're actually really proud of? As an Aussie, I'm proud that when Burger King tried to expand out from America into Australia, we made them change their name to Hungry Jack's for all their stores in Australia because of one really small fish and chip shop that already had the name Burger King. Just like the castle, sticking it to the man. Kenya. When the Maasai tribe donated 14 cows to US in sympathy after the 9/11 attacks. I'll never forget that. It was an incredible gesture. I missed hearing about that. It's so sweet. I hope a US official arranged to accept them with America's thanks. Here's a link to an article from BBC. Link. BBC.co. UK/2/Africa/2,022,942. STM. As a Mexican, I have to admit that our government has gone to shit. But we do have an amazing food culture. I was hitchhiking through Badger a few years back and had brought loads of dry foodstuffs with me up to a quite remote beach to stay for a couple of days. Little did I know I wouldn't touch any of it because the Mexican family next to me were always cooking and would not take no for an answer. Mexican abuelas and their cooking are amazing. Yeah, Mexicans are way generous, even to total strangers. It's amazing. My grandfather always instilled in me growing up that you always share your food with others. Anyway, having stayed with a French family for about a month, it was total culture shock. They were, understandably, wanted us out after a few days. Granted, Americans eat so damn much. I have a story that proves their generosity. Years ago I worked for Aaron's Furniture Rental. I remember it was late on a weekday and I had to repo a washer and dryer. I get to the house and it's a trailer park. Knock on the door and I interrupt a Hispanic family in the middle of dinner. They didn't speak much English, but they understood why I was there. Anyhow, I load up and the man is signing the paperwork and the woman bring me a foil covered plate of their dinner. I come on a weeknight, interrupt dinner, and repossess their shit and they give me an amazing plate of food to take home. Damn near made me cry. Also made me really hate my job. Poland. National parks and peerages. God bless Pierogi. I don't know singular vs plural. That was my main food in university until I got scurvy. Apparently vitamin C is important. Yes, I was actually stupid enough to just binge on pierogies and vodka until I got scurvy in a first world country, Canada. You should try pierogies with strawberries or blueberries. Dessert pierogi is my weakness. I'm from Iceland and I have to say that I'm super proud of its nature. I mean, it's definitely special and so unique. I visited Iceland for the first time last year and it's by far the most beautiful wildlife I've ever seen. Definitely one of the best places in the world. Austria. Don't need to drive/fly far away for some of the best skiing resorts in the world. If you don't live near one, you live in one. Jimmy. Time to clear the lawn of all the skiers and snowboarders. Lego. At one point Lego was almost 1% of Denmark's global exports. At one point Tycho Brahe possessed 1% of all wealth in Denmark. Bitch, I'm the 1%. Our ability to control water, the work the Dutch put in to make this land livable with the dam systems, earns my respect. Del Torken. Ik wist dat een paar Nederlands klootzakken hier en de zouden reageren. I've saw videos of people queuing in other countries, and it makes me never want to leave the UK. I once read about a UK-born terrorist that traveled to Syria to be a terrorist full-time, but eventually came back to the UK because ISIS didn't have any queue etiquette for food and supplies, etc. We'll have to see if I can find the link. Edit. This dude. Link. Telegraph. Co. UK/news/UK news/terrorism in the UK/11,866,536/ISIL jihadist Omar Hussein complains of rude Arabs who steal his shoes and can't queue. HTML. Let us know when you find that. This is some funny shit. We invented the Canadam. Another Canadian here. I'm also proud of our international reputation. We are generally regarded as polite and pleasant people. That's a great way for us to be seen. The impact of poutine on the world can also not be understated. Had poutine in many places in Canada. Had some in US and in Dom. Rep. Best poutines hands down is in Quebec. The cheese needs to squeak. Needs to be fresh out of a fridge. No shredded bullshit. Gravy needs to be thickish. Kind of like maple syrup. Not too dark, not too salty. And the fries need to be fat, crispy fries. No soft undercooked shit. And none of those cheap ass julienne thin fries. Those dark brown ones. Get it right or don't offer poutines. Looking at you US. Removed. Syria. Yep. Syria has such a beautiful history. I'm really sad to see everything happening in your country right now. And I pray for it and its people. In a lot of ways, that describes the Middle East as a whole. Brazil. Oh. What an amazing country. The replies on this commentary says everything. The cosign. From the rich man's house to the old lady in the favela. The diversity. Both in nature and people. The music. That lots of people around the globe enjoy. The beauty. For sure it's a beautiful country. The amazing people that lived here. I will not say names, because I don't want to write that many lines. The internet community. Most of the community that speaks English are pretty nice. The humor. When it's bad. But when it's good, it's really good. The crazy things that happen in here. As you can see in r/I theta be Brazil English speaker can confirm all of this. It's not perfect. Actually it's far away from it. But we are Brazilians and we never give up. PS. Sorry for my bad grammar. Please don't come after me, grammar police. Also the mess that this text is. I don't know how to write in Reddit. Like the one guy that proved he was alive in 2020. But his bank requested that he verified he was alive in 2019. When Justin Bieber visited England, he said that based on the way he was treated he would never come back. We did that. Justin Bieber is literally banned from my country and not allowed to enter Argentina. That is hilarious. How did it come about though? If I remember correctly, it had something to do with him or his bodyguards attacking a photographer and also him stepping on a flag during a concert. Yep, that was it. Costa Rica. Our beautiful and varied landscapes. Everything from tundra to rainforest to deserts. More than 25% of our land is protected by the government, are a refuge for all the animals and biodiversity on land and in the oceans. And around 99% of our energy comes from renewable sources. It's also a true democracy when it comes to voting. Our presidents aren't always that great, but at least we the people choose them directly. Edit. I'm so glad to read everyone's comments about visiting my country and having a good time. Also, here is the article about the tundra in Costa Rica. Link. com/Paramo, the little known highland tundra of Costa Rica / I visited and was impressed by the incredible natural beauty and variety. How voting day was basically a national holiday that everyone I saw seemed to think was important. And I'll never forget visiting a small farm and talking to the owner about the pests like coatimundi who would take part of the crop. His attitude was basically, well, they're part of the forest, so we just plant some extra to account for their share. I'm sure you have your flaws and people who aren't nice, but pretty much everyone I met had a basic attitude of graciousness towards each other and their surroundings. I'm guy who has never been to another country ever before. The reason is financial plus lack of time. I try to satisfy my urge to travel by looking at photos and watching vlogs. Costa Rica is definitely on my list. It's really beautiful. Highly recommend Costa Rica. Belgium. Here we've got Spa Francorchamps camps, fries, waffles, and proper chocolate. Spa's the best track in the F1 calendar. IMO carrot. I'll edit. A lot of people seem to have misunderstood my comment. You probably don't really care, but I'll explain anyway. I'm not a huge racing fan in general. I just watch F1. So aside from the circuits on the F1 calendar or in racing games I've played, I don't know that many circuits. That's why I specified the F1 calendar. Even though I didn't mean Spa is the best racing for F1 specifically, it's just my favorite track to race on in racing games. I like the layout. EAU Rouge man. What a corner. I'm afraid that's Radillan actually. r/Formula 1 is leaking again. As an Aussie, our diverse land of deserts, rainforests and bushland The Australian outdoors is incredible. The more I travel, the more I realize a beach holiday outside of Australia is usually a waste of money. Too spoiled growing up 40 minutes from some of the best beaches in the world. Me too. I've been to beaches all around the world, and I still think Australian beach is the best. Hawaii does have some beautiful ones, I admit, but it's just not the same. There's almost a certain atmosphere at Aussie beaches that you can't get anywhere else. Thailand has some gorgeous beaches too. That being said, as an Aussie I don't really see a need to travel for beaches or for a tropical holiday. If I'm going somewhere for the nature, it's somewhere cold/wooded. We got a ducking dragon on our flag. Also great poetry, music, beautiful coastlines, beaches, mountains and landscapes. The people are a laugh too. Plus we've hung in there and persevered as a nation when we could easily have been swallowed up and lost to history. Imarohid, as the song goes. Yeah, but have you seen the flag? Shit is awesome. I'm Welsh and when I read Op's post I felt sad thinking damn. Wales only has its language. Barely. But your comment really makes me feel a lot better about being Welsh. Also Welsh. It is one of the most beautiful places on earth, if the weather allows you to see it. Pembrokeshire beaches are ace. Good surfing. Amazing lamb. Best choirs. Welsh cakes. Call. And the mother flipping flag. Switzerland. That cheese that aged for 5 years in a cave. Also our education system. There's so many options. Especially when you don't like school and theoretical work and prefer to do something practical. It doesn't cost much either. Hopshwi eyes. Switzerland's flag too. It's a big plus. I made this joke to a girl I went to college with who is from Switzerland, and she got livid at me because it's apparently a cross, not a plus sign, and wouldn't accept the joke. If she got livid at you, you could even say she got cross with you. Russian literature probably. It serves as a great example of our natural ability to turn our suffering into art and base a national culture on it. Russian and Slavic folklore is so underrated. I'm in love with all these traditions and rituals and superstitions. Mythical creatures and stuff. I like Gogol's early works. Evenings on a farm near Dikanka pushed me into folklore. Soviet films The Night Before Christmas and VI are marvelous. I like to read creepy stories on Noveleb. But they are all about American culture and it just doesn't touch me. It's a different world. Russian creepy stories. They touch me deeply. They feel real. Because they relate to the Russian way of life. Like a story about spooky creature that you meet on the stairs while going for a smoke. Sounds stupid. But when you actually go for a smoke it feels creepy. Russian art is dark. And it suits us. If you want to understand Russia a bit more, or just have a great sad time, you can watch Balabanov's and Tarkovsky's films. Also The Fool. I held my tears for the whole film. They are, of course, exaggerated. But art is always like that. Russia is for the sad. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of Finland's great education system, landscapes and so many other great things. And with the recent events I'm proud how the government has put in their best effort to seize the spreading of the COVID-19. Be proud of your candy too. Phasers makes the most amazing salmiakki and chocolates. I'm a Finn who doesn't live there, so I only get it occasionally and nothing else compares. Sweet here. I secretly prefer Phaser chocolate to Marabou. They would kill me if they knew. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.